Welcome, everybody, to the Business Resurgence Podcast. Um, my name is Marco Chavez, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about why I'm starting this podcast and also just a little bit of my story. I got into business back in 2015, getting a used car lot, and I actually started out in technology. I was helping my uncle, who is very entrepreneurial. At the time, he was selling books on eBay and half.com. If you guys even remember that, I was helping him list books, and he was paying me. It was like a part-time job. I would go every Saturday morning, have a quota to fill, and he was explaining stuff about business. But I was a teenager. That stuff never really clicked with me, and I was really more interested in learning about computers. I was a kid from the streets, right? Like it's business and numbers just didn't click with me at the time, and I just didn't fully understand what he was trying to teach me. I was really just interested in the computer part. He taught me everything about computers, and that's how I actually got into technology, fixing computers, building computers, and I turned into this huge nerd in high school, and I was I was gonna be like this hacker guy in the future. That's what I wanted, right? And then life happened. Graduated high school, tried out college. It wasn't for me. Got into the workforce. Started working actually as it was data entry for my stepdad's it wasn't his company. The company he worked for, it was for a junkyard, or a salvage auto yard where they sold used parts. So I got to learn a little bit about that type of business, and also got my hands dirty in that. I left that job and delivered liquor for a couple months, and then one day I get a phone call from my cousin and I get a phone call from my uncle out in the oil field, and and they're saying, "Hey, we're looking for hands. You guys interested in working out here?" We're like, "Hell yeah! What's the pay?" So man, at the time, it was just oodles of money, right? Working out in the oil field, you work your ass off, and you get paid good money. I ended up buying a house, at the age of 24, and then I got out of that because I wanted to get back into technology. When I left there, I was a driller. I got I moved back to the city. I say I moved back. I lived in the city, but I moved. I found a job here in Austin for a small technology company, and I started working there. And at the same time, I also started a used car dealership with my stepdad and another partner of ours. And we grew that business from almost zero revenue in the first year to like half a mil in revenue. And that's where you really start understanding. That's when I started really getting into business and learning how it actually works. I started, getting the business lingo down. You got to remember, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And I believe that trial by fire is probably one of the best ways to learn, because you're going to learn what not to do, but that comes second to finding a mentor and actually having guidance and having somebody that knows what they're doing actually guide you through, because they've already been through it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm starting this podcast, is to find mentors, learn. I'm an avid learner. I love to learn, and I think everybody should always be learning. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm starting this podcast, is to just learn more about business. Business is always growing. It's always evolving. I have a huge passion for it. I have a huge passion for solving problems. I have a huge passion for creativity. and finding creative ways to solve problems. And I feel that I can I can learn a whole lot just by having an open mind and learning from people that have already been there. Everybody can be your mentor. Everybody and anybody that you want to get to a certain position can be your mentor. They can get to that point. I've, right now I'm currently being mentored by the CEO of the company I work for. I want to ultimately get into mergers and acquisitions and become just a powerhouse in that, a player in that. And one way to do that is to build credibility, build authority in the space, and make your network. That old saying, your network is your net worth. That is never truer in anything. In anything that involves business, that is probably the number one thing that's important, right? So yeah, I just wanted to jump on. This is the first episode. We're gonna get into all kinds of stuff about business and what I've learned, where I can improve, and in the podcast is being started for my own benefit personally, but I'm sure through whatever I encounter, a lot of people can learn from it. So I'm glad you guys are jumping on board, and let's get started. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll get this kicked off the ground, and there's gonna be plenty of content to come. And I'm super glad you guys found me, and let's get this going.